What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr War Games and I'm bringing to you guys a deck update to Synchron. So this is going to be post Synchro Storm. So yes, this does include Baroness de Fleur. It doesn't include Necro Synchron because I'm still testing around with that card in particular. Just to get nice comfortable synergy of like her and evil forms that you do have to play. So I'm still testing around on that, so that this profile does not include Necro, but it does include Baroness, which does give you an amazing boss monster that you can end on. This is also a hybrid, well, I'm calling it a hybrid variant of two different variants, one older variant and the current variant, which is your Doppelboy and that kind of stuff. So like, I hope you enjoy this crazy synergy that I'm trying to concoct, and in my test hands it does extremely well. I'm really happy with the results that this deck gives you a nice balance between both and does help you play through a lot of negates, defends you from negates as well if you're going down the main combo route, which I will show you at the end. So before I get to this, if you enjoyed, give it a like and subscribe down below, ding that notification bell, because obviously if you enjoy a person's content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that, and all of that is greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into this Synchron deck update. Starting off with your main Synchrons, you obviously 3 Stardust, 3 Junk, and the 1 Cyburst. This is your main Synchron lineup. If you're not playing the plant package, which will then obviously include Necro Synchron, but I have already explained why Necro Synchron isn't in here. But yes, this is like a really good lineup. These you can fluctuate between 2 and 3s, but that it all depends on your comfortability and your playstyle in particular. I just like the 3 of each just because it gives you maximum consistency and it gives you maximum targets in your deck as well for your later plays. Moving on, with your standard package, you could say the current standard package. So you have your 3 junk converters and your 3 double warriors. This deck doesn't play Caligula Core Crow. You can if you really want to, but I'm personally chosen to take it out the deck because I'm not focusing 100% on that build in particular. I'm focusing as well on another build which I kind of prefer more at the moment, just because the combo is a bit more streamlined. And I personally, call me lazy, I do like a more streamlined combo in my decks, because it gives you a main target focal point to go and build your deck around to keep your plays going, and then you can then construct the rest of the deck to either synergize with that combo line, branch off it to give you a backup combo line, which is what this deck is doing, or to help the main line push through hand traps and that kind of thing. So you've got a help line as well. But yeah, this is what I'm personally done, and so that's why I'm not playing Caligula Core Crow, but you can if you so wish. Because I like the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon itself, I am playing the Converging Wilds. I've gone to Brotor just because in the main combo that I particularly do, you do need Brotor, because Brotor gets you your extender, which is the Chaos Dragons. And they really do help give you those extra negates on board for your disruptive plays later. So that's why I've gone for that. I kind of want to bump Brotar to 2, but at the moment 1's just fine. Because we have Baroness de Fleur, we don't have to fully rely on the Converging Will package. So if we do open up Brotor, we can then just go away, not worry about Shooting Majestic Star, and then just go into Baroness de Fleur instead, so which is just as strong. Now for the main combo, the main play that I'm going for is the Diviner package. I love this package while since testing it. It just works so well. I originally wanted to get this package just for Valkyrie. That was my main goal. It's just I want Diviner to play Valkyries. So expect that profile on the channel at some point. Or if it's not already up. But in this deck, I absolutely love it. It synergizes so well perfectly with all the Synchron cards. Diviner plus 1 of 3 cards, which we'll see in the combo at the end, just gives you so much advantage, so much playthrough disruptions and hand traps, and just so much consistency. The end boards are just bonkers, and I just love Diviner just fits so well. Being a tuner as well gives you extra synergy with Junk Converter, meaning that if you open up like Diviner, Junk Converter, and like a Doppel Warrior, you're going off, which is just brilliant. So it just gives you an additional tuner target for Junk Converter, which is a lot in its own right. So Diviner, I absolutely love it. And her main targets for the combo that she performs is 1 Herald of Orange Light, 1 Ava, and 1 Cerebus. You could call all 3 of these Garnets as well, but unless you open up all of them, and even then, if you don't open up all of this, Diviner, plus 1 of the 3 cards, combo cards, it's still full combo, which is just nuts. So, I absolutely love these. I personally don't think they class them as Garnets. So your hand has to be really bad for these to be part Garnets. Just because if you have these, then they're just already in your hand. You have the Cerebus for your targeting protection. As long as you have another a free fairy, you have your Herald for your monster negate. Like, these do help by having them already in your hand. It just is better if you search them mid combo, which you'll see. So that's it for monsters. Moving on to spells. For your cards to go with the Diviner for the Diviner play, we have the 3 copies of Starlight Junction and the 1 copy of Stardust Illumination. These are part of your 2-card combo with the Diviner, because Diviner plus either Starlight Junction, Illumination, or Stardust Synchron gives you full combo. It's just absolutely fantastic. You just need a way to tribute the Diviner, aka is either with Starlight Junction itself or via Stardust Synchron, which means Illumination is part of that synergy as well. So you have many ways to trigger the Diviner. You just have to get to Diviner. So I think fantastic, but the reason I built the deck like this is that I don't want to fully rely on Diviner, which is why I still play the Doppel Warrior package. By just playing Doppel Warrior in its own right, you can still play the current combo Synchron deck, which is just like a tuner plus Doppel in that kind of way to just get off junk speed and that kind of stuff. So I still play that particular route, and that kind of way. So you have 2 ways to play this particular build, which does up the consistency a lot. Moving on, for your tuner searches, we're playing 3 copies of Synchro Overtake and 1 tuning. I've actually dropped down in tuning a lot. I kind of don't like it as much. It's not a terrible card. I just think in comparison to Overtake, I've been talking about this for a day a lot. I've been seeing other duelists do it as well. Like, Overtake is just the better tuning, in my personal opinion. Yeah, you don't get the mill, but you either get a Synchron from deck, so it baits and negate, doesn't take up your normal summon. And it can also trigger Doppel Warrior, because if you have the Synchron already engraved, you just revive it and then trigger Doppel Warrior summon itself. So it is overall the better tuning. This is why I dropped down the copies of tuning. I haven't taken out completely, because having that extra copy of a particular Synchron that you need does come up, and it does help the consistency a bit. This is a 41 card deck in particular, so if you really wanted to, you can take it out, the copy of tuning. It's completely up to you, but I like the 3-in-1 lineup. It just gives you enough searches that you need. 1 Rotor, I definitely swap out tuning for Rotor. I definitely just play 3 Overtake and double Rotor, because Rotor gets you Converter and Doppel Warrior. So that's that. Then I played the 1 Arrive and Light, because we are playing the mid-shooting star package, and the 1 Monster Reborn for just a generic revival. And then for your hand trap killers, we're playing the 1 Cool by the Grave, 3, and then the Gamma package. What I would personally do, because this is again a 41 card deck, I would, if I had to take this to locals, I'd take this out and I'll just put in the 3 the for the 3 TTTs. Triple Tactics Talents, that's the word. I'd definitely just play that and drop this to a 40 card deck. My talents are in another deck at the moment. I'm not playing this currently as my meta deck, so my talents are in my current meta deck. Gamma does pretty much similar thing, helps you go second as well, because your combo can be hand tracked in the case where you have no monsters on board. Like if your overtake, basically if your Starlight Junction or your overtake tries to get ashed, you can just drop a Gamma, bait that out, and then go into a Chaos Ruler, that kind of thing, and then it just helps boost your combos up a little bit more. But yeah, so feels similar roles, but personally I'd rather play the Triple Tactics Talents, and then if I want to make it a 41 card deck again, I'll just bump up my Imperms to 3, so I'm playing 2 Imperms as well. That's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. This is going to be a long video, by the way, so I do apologise for that. Let's go backwards and end on the boss monsters. That would be much nicer. So for your level 2, we're playing, obviously, Celestial Double Star Shaman. The better form is Synchron, personally. The 1 Metal Marcher, help you go into a Synchro climb up. 2 copies of Herald of the Arc Light. You use 1 for your ditch of the Diviner, and then you have 1 for your backup if you want to have a negate on board. What I would do once the Burst of Destiny comes out is probably swap one of these for the Cupid Pitch, just because you still have then a fairy that you can ditch off the Diviner if you want, but then Cupid Pitch can be a nice tuner synchro that can adjust its level, so you can do different synchro plays if you want. For your fires is Speeder, Garden Rose Maiden for your recovery, revival as well. I do like playing Garden Rose Maiden. Hyper Librarian, Axel Synchron, and Junk Warrior. These are your level 5s that I'm personally playing. So that's that line up there. Let's just switch this up a little bit so all on the screen. I'm not playing a level 6. I'm playing the Dawn Dragster instead. I just never see myself going into the level 6. You tend to play the level 6 if you're going like the full-on card draw combo with Hyper Librarian, but since I'm not going for that kind of play, I don't really need the level 6, so you can play the level 6 if you want to. You can probably like take out the Garden Rose Maiden if you wish, but I personally not going for that kind of play, so I haven't got it in here. You play the Dragster because having a level 7 negate target is pretty handy. Then we have the Crystal Ring, Chaos Ruler, Hot Red for your level 8s and 9s. And then for your level 10s, for your big boss monster, you have the 1 Baroness de Fleur waiting for mine to be in the post. And the 1 shooting Majestic Star Dragon for your level 11. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for the extra deck and the main deck. Let me just zoom out a little bit and quickly show you the 2 card combo, which ends on your big board using your Diviner of Herald. So you either have Diviner of Herald, and 1 combination of Starlight Junction, Starless Illumination, or Starless Synchron himself. This gets you full combo. I'm going to go with the Starlight Junction just because it is the most commonly way of doing it, and it's a newer card in the deck. So we play the Starlight Junction. You normal summon your Diviner. You use your Diviner to send a fairy from extra deck or main deck to grave, and I believe it increases its level, or it just becomes at level. It increases level by that monster's level until the end of this turn. So this now becomes a level 6. You trigger your Herald's effect in grave and gets you a ritual monster. So you add your Cerebus. Now you've got targeting protection. Already you've got protection, which is great. So now you use your Starlight Junction, sack off the Diviner, and summon your Starless Synchron from deck. This triggers the Diviner since it was tributed to summon a fairy from your hand or deck. That's level 1, which is very nice. So you summon your Ava. Now you synchro these off. You also get your Starless Synchron's effect, which is pretty nice, to get you an Arriving Light. So you synchro those off and you make your Junk Speeder. This goes Chainlink 1 Junk Speeder, Chainlink 2 Ava. So Ava banishes, I believe it banishes the fairies that aren't itself engraved. So you banish your Hell and your Divine. If it does banish itself, cool, you just banish itself. It doesn't really matter what you banish, in all honesty. You banish 2, you just add 2 fairies from deck to hand. So you add another Diviner and you add your Orange Light. and then you summon from deck thanks to your junk speeder, Cyburst, Junk, and Stardust. So this is your current board already, which is just brilliant. From here, you go and play your Arriving Light. The fact that we now got all this in hand means we have targeting protection and a orange light as well for monster negate. So you play your Arriving Light and you stack on top of your deck the Converging Wills Dragon. You then synchro these into your Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon. This triggers your Converging Wills to summon itself. Triggers your Arriving Light to draw, then Wills summons itself, and then you summon a dragon from the deck. So you summon your Brotor. I'm going to put the Starlight Junction up there. This triggers Brotor to ditch a card. I ditched the Survivors in particular, just because I'd rather have the monster negate here. And then you're going to add a light target to your hand. I personally picked the light one just because you have more darks in grave at this current time, which is then a bit more handy. From here, you're then going to banish your dark, which is your junk Synchron, and then you're going to summon out your white dragon, and then you're going to synchro these and go into your Chaos Ruler. From here, you can trigger the Chaos Ruler, and then you trigger Chaos Ruler and then trigger the white dragon. So white dragon is going to add your black dragon, and then Chaos Ruler is going to, excavate 5, add a light, and then sends the rest. So this is your current hand at the moment. From here, you're going to use your Cyber Synchron to double the Converging Wills to a 2, or Brotor, it doesn't really matter. You synchro all these up, and then you go into your hot red, your shooting Majestic Star Dragon. I'm going one step ahead. You're then going to banish your white, light and dark. So I tend to just banish the Converging Wills and the Brotor, and then you go back your Chaos Ruler, and then you synchro those and get your hot red dragon Archfiend Abyss. And that is the combo. Nice and simple. You have 3 negates on board. You have 2 Harmony negates, a monster negate. You have another monster negate in hand through your Herald of Orange Light. You have a level 4 extender, and you searched, you excavated a light or dark in your from your deck. Then you have all of this in graveyard as well to work with. Well, that gets banished. So you have all of this in graveyard to work with, which then comes in handy. So if you really wanted to, you could banish light in grave. You could summon out your Collapsed Serpent, and then what I would probably then do, since you actually synchro summoned, you can special summon a tuner from hand. So you can special summon the Divine if you really wanted to, and then you can sack off the tuner with Stardust Synchron. And if you had another level 8 option, you can then go into that as well, which then is another word of play for you. But I'm just going to leave it like this, just because this is the main play. The rest is pretty much option, depending on your extra deck. So that's that. Guys, again, hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you're doing with your Stardust deck, what you're doing with your Synchron deck, so on and so forth. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Do you like the Diviner play? If not, I'd like to hear why in the comments. I'm personally loving it at the moment. Absolutely love it. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe and happy dueling.